So today, my wife and I and Zoe, we go into one of our favorite coffee places, Mavro. I want to say this because I feel bad about what happened. Great. Oh my god, they put foam on the top, like it's like when you go to Harry Potter World in Universal Studios. It's just like they have caramel foam and cinnamon foam. Oh, it's so good. And I go in and
things I never had for 100 hours.
Oh my god, it's so good. So we go in and the guy works there a lot. I don't know, maybe he's the owner. I'm not sure. Younger guy, probably in his mid-30s.
Okay.
And he comes in, he goes, and we come in and go, hey, he goes, oh, you guys from Michigan? And I look and I go, oh, Pam is wearing a Michigan T-shirt, and I'm wearing my Michigan hat. And I said, oh, and he looks at me. I go, well, I married into it. She's Michigan.
Does she make you wear the hat?
And he goes, you wear that hat today. It's time to wear that hat. Okay, I'll wear the hat. No, but it's cool. It's got the bell tower on it. I wear the hat. Oh, it's awesome. So I said, yeah, no, I married into it. It's her. She goes, oh, and Pam goes, don't tell me you're from Ohio State. We like coming in here. And the guy goes, no, it's fine. I went to Indiana. I said, oh, wow. I said, wow, well, this is the year. This is the greatest year you've ever had in your sports life with Indiana going to the playoff last year in football. And he goes, yeah. He goes, but the thing is, it was so rough for so long. I'm a much bigger Colts fan than I am anything else. I said, well, good luck tonight. And the guy says, yeah, but I mean, what are we really going to do? Anthony Richardson hasn't been good, and Daniel Jones stinks. And I'm like, okay. And he doesn't know. He doesn't know who I am. I'm just a guy talking to him, right? I'm just a guy talking to him.
Yeah, but as soon as you start going deep in your,
and I said, well,
analysis of Colts quarterbacks, he's going to raise an eyebrow.
I said, well, look, and I was going to say something like, well, hey, Burt Jones can play a little bit too. Just let me test your knowledge.
There you go.
But instead, I said,
you're in Diner.
I said, look, I heard that. I'm going to have to disallow that. The Alan Amici. She missed the Alan Amici question. So I said, look, I get it. Look, Anthony Richardson, I'm not an Anthony Richardson guy, even though I have him in a dynasty fantasy league, but I think Daniel Jones will really be okay. I said, you have a lot of weapons on that team. You got a really deep wide receiver room. You have a great running back. Offensive line is good. I said, yeah, I think Daniel Jones will be able to get the ball where he needs to be. And you guys will move the football. You do well with Daniel Jones. And he goes, yeah, but I mean, I don't know. It's just hard to get excited. And especially tonight when I go watching the game that likely our offense is not going to be good. And this is where Anthony Richardson's injury is my fault. This is where it's my fault.
Mm-hmm.
Is because then I said to him, well, look at it this way. It's preseason. As long as nobody gets hurt, everything is fine.
You can't go back to that place for weeks.
No, I can't go back there ever again, and I love the drinks there.
No, next time you come in with a fake mustache and an Ohio State hat.
I go in like Bobby Valentine managing the Mets with a big mustache. And I said, as long as nobody gets hurt, everything is fine. That's a victory. He goes, yeah, I guess you're right. Okay, great. All right, see you next time. Okay. And I felt awful. I felt absolutely. As soon as I saw that video and that replay and that finger sticking out, I said, that's my fault. That is absolutely my fault. I did that to him. I did that. And then, you know what it was? That was like 2 hours before the game, too. It wasn't like early in the... No, it was like 2 hours. So really fast, that whole...
So they'd already been out on the field.
Oh, yeah, warming up, and they're getting dressed and everything else. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. 100%.
Yeah, that's a gaffe on a million levels. You could almost hear the guys on the sideline yell, throw the damn towel. I mean, hot route. I mean, get down. Get down. Because he came in absolutely unabated. Unchallenged in any way, shape, or form. It's like, oh, this is bad.
Yeah.
Like that first step off the line of scrimmage, like, oh, you got to get down. This is where you need that toy like Peyton Manning used to be, where you'd press the button and the legs collapse, right?
Yeah.
We used to have a goat up in here in the studios. Like there were a whole line of those toys. Oh, it collapsed. Oh, let it go. Hey, look, he jumps back up. That's what Anthony Richardson needed here. You needed that button on the sideline. Make him get down. This is not going to end well. And now he's got a pinky like my daughter has.
I just keep thinking when you're saying that of the Krusty the Clown, buy my cereal. They're pulling the thing. Buy my cereal.
They actually have that toy now, but it only goes so far, right? I'm Krusty the Clown, and I don't like you. That's as far as he goes. He does not go to the threat of killing you.
Now,
They did not put that in the toy.
I'm going to say this. I need people to share this injury with me, and I know exactly who to blame. Like I said, I'm not taking the whole injury. I'll take half of it, but somebody else has to take half of it. But first, here's what it sounded like. The Anthony Richardson injury. It is a dislocated pinky finger. He is ruled out for the game. There is no word yet on when he's coming back. Let's hear Anthony Richardson.
Anthony Richardson goes out of the gun, ball in the near hash, backs to throw, and he is decked from the left, and he is sacked and buried. He took a big-time hit, but more importantly, hangs on to the football, and the Ravens with a sack off the left edge.
And he's going off the field, Matt. He got hit unabated. There was no one blocking. The protection was totally not there.
So there it is on Colts TV. David Ojabo, look, I remember seeing him blow people up at Michigan a couple of years ago, and he was fantastic.
Now he's healthy and ready to wreak havoc in this defense.
Watch out. But here's the thing. As you heard there, boy, unblocked, and he comes in and absolutely levels. Your starting quarterback gets hurt. Now, here's who's got to share.
Play man just goes, oh, at least he held on to the ball.
Here's who's got to share the blame for me.
Mm-hmm.
And this is absolutely on Shane Steichen and the Colts, because what did they decide to do? Well, we're going to have Anthony, unless they wanted the guy to get hurt, right?
Whoa.
Because what did they decide to do tonight? We're going to start Anthony Richardson, and he's going to play most of the first half. In the first preseason game, when guys are still getting used to things and we're all figuring stuff out, no, we're going to throw him out there. Okay, so behind his offensive line, no, we're going to hold out 3 starters from the offensive line, including Quentin Nelson, Braden Smith, all held out of the game. They held out 3 starters. You hold out your left tackle, your left guard, and your right tackle.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what protection they would have been, and potentially Ojabo. It was a great maneuver on the Ravens' end to get him to free him up for the sack. Like you don't know what that play is going to be, but just think about the decision to put Anthony Richardson out there, who you think, hoping can still be your franchise quarterback. The first game of the preseason where things are a little weird, you got to iron the kinks out. At least if you put him out there, put him in a position to succeed and not in a position to get hurt. And what happens? He gets blown up because we're holding our guys out. Okay? And I'm saying, look, if you want to hold your guys out, I get it. Don't put your franchise quarterback out there behind a backup offensive line to start the game. What the hell is wrong with you? Really, what the hell is wrong with you that you're doing that? And again, I'm not saying he got injured because of this, but that's a horrible decision to make, to say we're going to put him out there and we're not going to protect him. We're not going to put him in a position to not only, hey, play well, but stay healthy. Like that's a horrible, horrible, horrible misstep and decision by the Colts.
Well, in the end, you're trying to find out whether he can read, pick up. In this case, you have the guy comes in unabated and hammers him. Your running back is going into a pass route. You've got him running out of the shotgun. We can talk about a million parts of the play call and the decision making. I understand you start your quarterback in this battle, Richardson this week, and then we know they'd already said Daniel Jones was going to start game 2, and he's starting forever now. But he's got to play, right? You got to see him. So I guess the next question would be the play call of running him out of shotgun and leaving him exposed where he doesn't even have the potential of someone chipping, doesn't feel the hot read or just to get down. But yeah, it's an amalgam, a litany of errors that come. But he's got to be on the field, right? We saw starters all over the place. And yes, they had more complete lineups around them. I understand that. But those are some veterans and guys who've made it. Anthony Richardson's fighting for a job. And it's an unfortunate occurrence. Fortunately, it's just a pinky. And he should, in theory, get back out there fairly soon.
Yeah, but the thing is that, is he fighting for a job? Yeah, he is, but he still could be your starting quarterback.
Sure.
You don't want to put your. I remember when.
Right, but if Daniel Jones had started and maybe he gets decked the same way, maybe he doesn't.
I don't know that I put Daniel Jones out there either. I'm not going to put a guy that could start for me out behind a backup offensive line in the first game, where you're still worried about protection, you're worried about any sort of chemistry in your face. Why would you do that? I go all the way back to when Rex Ryan decided to put Mark Sanchez out there in the second half of the Giants game, of a Giants preseason game for the Snoopy Bowl behind a backup offensive line, and he got killed, and that opened the door for Geno Smith to go start, right?
So we should have just gone straight to Riley Leonard?
I don't understand why you would do that. If you're not going to – if you don't put guys out there, big-time starting players out behind an offensive line that you're putting at least 3 backups out there. You don't do that for Josh Allen. The Bills aren't going to throw Josh Allen out there and say, okay, hey, go start, but we're going to put 3 backups out. No, nobody does that.
No. But, I mean, clearly a bit of apples and oranges in terms of the quarterback. Yes, starters, but different degree, different aptitude, and different decision making. Right? I think this is the first year when we look at the league since McVay began his grand experiment that we're starting to see more teams want to come out there, because we certainly watched with the Bengals and what became, over 50 points between them and the Eagles. But you had Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase come out there, do some great work, and sit down. You've paid the guy, you protect the guy. Richardson, I'm not saying that he's disposable in any way, shape, or form, but you obviously made the decision that you weren't going to run out all your starters, and you allowed a number of guys to sit, whether it was because they're nursing injuries or because they just said, nope, not going to do it. That's the decision I want to know. Did they get the opt-out option, and that's what they did? Anthony, you're on your own.
I'm done. I mean, that's such an epic fail by the Colts. I can't get over it. I really can't get over it. This is what we're doing. Yes, here's the two guys that are battling it out to be our starting quarterback, and they're neck and neck. But, we're going to put one of the guys out there without 3/5 of the offensive line. And again, it's not – if this was the third or fourth game of the preseason, these guys have played together. There's a little bit more togetherness, but instead you're worried about what you're calling out. You're worried about protection. You're worried about plays like this where a Ojabo just runs free and absolutely decks Richardson. Like, what are you doing, man? Like, what are you doing that to your quarterback? That's just, wow.
Yeah, I mean, he should have just come in and hand off a couple of times, I guess. And don't even expose him on the shotgun. I mean, you're trying to see if he can make plays and read and whatever. You certainly didn't give him a full complement, a full deck to work with. But you know what? Shane Steichen's learning. Oh, wait, he's been there a couple of years.
Oh, man, I'll tell you. I can't wait to see how he defends this in his postgame. I really can't.